Canada will be able to respond quickly to ensure that only those weapons which are safe for use in this country will be available to Canadians.
Hi, Tom Parry with CBC. The shooter in Nova Scotia was using illegal weapons, and a lot of illegal weapons come in from the United States. So why not target those weapons as opposed to going after lawful gun owners?
Today, we are banning military-style assault weapons in this country, weapons that are designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to kill as many people as possible in a short amount of time as possible. Those guns have no place in Canada, and the measures we're putting forward will reduce the amount of those guns in Canada and eventually keep more Canadians safe. But there is more to do. There are more measures to take, and we look forward to moving forward on those. And for those, I'll turn it back to Minister Blair.
If I may, first of all, the responsibility for identifying the weapons that were used in Nova Scotia is with the RCMP, and the release of any information pertaining to those is theirs. But I can tell you that every firearm begins legally and then moves into an illegal market. And I can say with some confidence that the 2 long guns that were involved in that investigation, without identifying them, are included on today's list.
Hi, Crystal Logue with Global News. Prime Minister, regarding the new gun measures, can you confirm if you plan to ban all all automatic rifles, and why not look at banning handguns? They are causing more deaths in Canada every year.
Today, we're moving forward with a ban on military-style assault weapons. We have established criteria that cover about 1,500 models and variants of those guns that are in Canada or available to Canadians. This will make sure that we have safer communities as of today and in the months and years to come. At the same time, there is more to do on strengthening gun control. We made significant commitments to Canadians back in 2015 and moved forward on them in the last mandate, and we're continuing to move forward on the commitments to strengthen gun control in this country, including allowing cities and municipalities the ability to restrict the use of handguns. These are things that we will move forward on in the coming months as the parliamentary calendar returns to dealing with things other than COVID-19. Nous avons pris des mesures concrètes pour bannir à partir d'aujourd'hui les armes militaires.
We have taken concrete measures to ban military-style assault weapons that do not have their place in this country. We recognize that it's only one step of all of the things that we need to do regarding handguns and other things. We also need to fight domestic violence. We will continue to increase gun control in this country, and in order to do so, we will need to go through Parliament, and we will do this work once the government is able to focus on something other than COVID-19.
CTV National News. You talked about this 2-year amnesty period for people, law-abiding gun owners, to give back these guns on this list. Does that mean that Canadians that don't comply would be fined or arrested? And how much will you compensate people that give back these firearms?
Bill? A couple of questions, and I think the Attorney General could probably give you the details of the amnesty. But essentially, it's a non-permissive amnesty, which as the Attorney General has already explained, would allow a person who lawfully acquired these firearms to continue for a 2-year period to retain possession of them. But during that 2-year period, they can't use them. They can't go hunting with them. They can't take them to the range and shoot them. They can't sell them or transfer them. It is very restrictive on what they can actually do with the weapon, and it will have to be stored securely in a properly and approved vault during that period of time. The 2-year period of amnesty enables us to bring forward legislation that with a safe and effective buyback program that will allow those individuals who lawfully acquire these things. One of the things we're trying to avoid, the Canadians who purchased these guns did so legally. And we did not want to create a situation by prohibiting them all moving forward of putting those people in criminal jeopardy. And so we have implemented a period of amnesty to allow us to bring forward legislation and a program that will enable those Canadians who originally purchased these guns to dispose of them and not to put themselves to be placed in a position of criminal jeopardy. You know, as I said, we respect Canadians who obey the law, and the law quite appropriately is now changed. And so we will do the work necessary and work with them to bring them into a lawful situation, and for all Canadians, a safer situations by the elimination of these weapons in our society.
Thank you. The standard criminal code provisions still apply. This is a regulation that derives from the criminal code. So the same structure, fines and penalties that exist for other firearms violations exist here. That hasn't changed. The amnesty is also a regulation that does give that non-permissive period where one can, in a very limited way, transport the weapons for certain reasons, but otherwise can't use them.
Compensation?
That will be determined, as we've said, through a buyback program that we'll have to do through Parliament. I mean, that requires a budget, that requires a law, and so we will require the usual parliamentary processes and safeguards, I might add, moving forward, again, with the cooperation and collaboration of our partners in the House of Commons.